All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Check 55 to Mike. We don't want this.
On first down, Travis. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Graham. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting that field to make plays in the backfield.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Set. 180. 59.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
I got you.
Alert, 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 alert.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, good game catch the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Drop deep, drop deep.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Damarious Randall. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
They'll run on first down. Travis, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All day, every day, any day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's Graham to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Ito Smith, his first carry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Down. 30 base.
Eat. It's a party out.
Hey, zoom. Get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ready?
Football, and it's picked up by the Steelers, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Mayfield. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on 1st down. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, exit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
Five.
Oh, yeah. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kenny Young came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. Hey, orbit.
Now Graham on 3rd and long. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the second quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
2 yards. Brings up 4th down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Bravo!
49 the mic, watch 49.
I got it!
On the draw, this is Smith. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
At the Browns' 31-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they try the right side here. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Hey, alert!
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Mayfield down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They come out here in the eye. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up. And we'll break that one soon.
180.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's go, Pete.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. The Cleveland offense ready to go. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Topper. Snap.
Now this time he'll look to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll throw on 1st down with Grant. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
That's got to be a
And he'll give it here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
55. Check 55. Mike.
They'll keep it on the ground. Travis. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Set, ready? 15, Ronnie. 15 line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Kill, kill, kill.
61, matchbox. Get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and still nothing on the scoreboard. It remains a scoreless tie.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Regular.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Mayfield on first down. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
At the Browns' 41-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. A first down carry for Smith. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Smith. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And Catanzaro missed it. That is no good. Wide to the right, and still nothing on the scoreboard. It remains a scoreless tie. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Let's see what you got.
Now it's Graham. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right. It hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. In case you were wondering, last scoreless tie in the NFL, 1943, Giants and Lions. So here we are in the 4th quarter, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Well, I've got a feeling, partner. I've got a feeling that this is going to be the drive. In fact, something big might happen defensively.
The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the Steelers on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they give this time to the tailback. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Regular.
Mayfield looks to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
I got you, punk.
49, check 49.
Now Ito Smith. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And it's 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Alpha.
Number 53.
Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Defensively, mission accomplished. And now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble. But theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. Pushing his way through. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jordan Reed, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing now, Graham on 1st down. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Graham. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. 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 1st and 10 at the 37-y
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
And now he'll tuck it and run. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
He's coming. We got double up.
Get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that when they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. Graham displaying the strength. And now the juke. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
He'll look to throw. That's taken in by Callaway. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Pittsburgh. Hey, Delta.
They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late 4th quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
5.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Let's go.
Hey, I 7.
One last shot for Mayfield here. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Cleveland, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.